Matt Milne says, "Hello from Ontario, Canada. Want to know what Want to know what Rocky and the team think about the Glen Affric Tartan and whether the STA will make this tartan open to the public to have woven. Also, if they do you think they will try to analyze what the original colors would have looked like before being buried in peat for hundreds of years?" So exciting to hear that we now have a new oldest tartan fabric remnant. Cheers, and thanks for all the amazing knowledge you share with us.
Elijah.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, thank you. Kind words.
And yeah, this is the hottest news in the kilting world in the past 10 years or whatever. It's like
there was a piece of tartan that was found in a peat bog that was gifted to the Scottish Tartans Authority years and years and years ago. And it just kind of sat with the STA. And recently they had it analyzed for carbon dating kind of thing. And they found out that it actually is like 500-ish years old, which makes it now the oldest known piece of Scottish tartan. So, and they had it, I think, cleaned and stuff recently to try to take some of the staining from the peat bog out of it. So it's kind of like this creamy looking piece of cloth with a bit of stripes in it. And you can tell that there was different colors in it. They did do a bit of analysis, and they believe that it was like green and red and black and a few different colors. I don't know exactly what the colors were within it yet, and like in what sequence, in what order, and that kind of thing. I did reach out to one of the mills, and I kind of spoke to them because a lot of people have been contacting us saying like, "Hey, is this going to be available?
Yeah.
Or are any of the mills going to weave it? Are you guys going to weave it? You know, can I get my hands on this thing?" I think someone will do it. There's enough people interested in it that we started talking to one of the mills saying like, "Hey, would this be a possibility? And what knowledge do we have? What knowledge is available that we can get a very close, reasonable approximation of what it would have looked like?" I don't want something that's just going to be like, "Yeah, sure, this is what it looked like, just buy it," kind of thing. I would want it to be, reasonably authentic looking.
Like the Culloden tartan?
Yeah, the Culloden tartan's an example where like the colors were interpreted, shall we say, and it's kind of off from what it actually was. But we started speaking to the mills about potentially doing something. So I would say watch this space. Now, will the STA release it? It's in discussions with Bill from House of Edgar, I said, do you think we could have access to either if someone actually does a thread count, or can we approximate a thread count based on the set size, based on the colors, based on the actual a close-up image, which frankly wouldn't be difficult to recreate. What Bill said was, look, the cloth is 500 years old. If there was any copyright on it, he's dead. It's okay. So, like, this is no slight to the Scottish Tartans Authority or to any of the historians or anything like that. There would be no copyright on it because it's just a piece of cloth that was found, quasi recently, like within the last 20, 30, 40 years from 500 years ago. So there is no copyright in it. There are no restrictions on it. The question becomes, what were the colors in it? How close of a recreation to it do we think we could actually get? And then is there an interest in it from the general public to have something recreated? And how does that process work, as far as bringing it forth for public, so to speak?
Is there any sense of that it looks very similar to any other known or common tartans? Has anybody speculated like, oh, wow, it looks a lot like the Macduff tartan? I mean...
I haven't heard any speculation as far as that's concerned.
Okay.
Mainly because it just looks cream. Like, you could tell what was black, and you can tell that there's like two or a few shades of like cream, like what has essentially been left as a creamy color. And I'm using this phrase very, very loosely. You could tell that it was different colors, but a lot of it's been washed out. A lot of the dyes are no longer there, but there's hints of it. So if you can get a good enough photo and say, okay, here's, this one, this cream has like a greenish hue. This cream has like a pinkish hue. This this cream has a bluish hue. Okay, fine. Now we can know essentially where those colors would be within it. But
Okay.
there's no hard and fast released data on, yep, we have confirmed this is the actual thread count, these are the actual colors, this order, and that kind of thing.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet, correct.
Okay.
But we're trying. We're inquiries have been made.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I want one.
Yeah. Everybody I've talked to wants one.
Yeah.
So
now it's neat. It's exciting to have something that old come forward, especially something we've actually known about. Well, we haven't. The STA has known about for a long-ish period of time, and now it's like, oh, this is actually 400 years old. Maybe we should do something with this. So it's awesome. It's news now. It's like, I don't know. It's just cool.
Well,
I love the history aspect.
Yeah,
of it.
exactly. This is why it's a minor soapbox is like support museums, support educational institutions, and archiving, because you never know what new research and new facts you can glean from an old artifact. It's vastly important that we preserve these specimens properly, and the digs be done properly, things be documented. We make sure we're not losing more archaeological sites. We make sure that things are being re-examined and assumptions challenged as we go forward. That's science, folks. So, yeah, it's wonderful. This is wonderful. I hope more stuff like this happens.
Not only good students of the culture, good stewards of the culture.
Oh yes,
indeed. Oh yes, very wise, very wise. I'm not that wise. No, but yes, absolutely. Once this stuff is kind of tossed out because, that's too stained, I don't need this. You'll never be able to get that kind of stuff back.
Or there's things that get lost in the archives.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, indeed.
Don't be Heinrich Schliemann.
Yeah, Heinrich.
That's a joke for the archaeology nerds out there.
Indeed. Very good.
Tell me in the comments if you actually get that joke.
All right, Mr. Mac.
One quick question. Do you guys know where the location of where that was found originally?
No.
Besides in a box in the
in a box in the back room of the STA. You're welcome. No, it's probably, I know there's been several articles written about it. It's escaping me now. It may be in one of the articles. The only thing that's sticking out in my mind was that it was in a bog and that it's been with the STA for years.
So Glen Affric isn't a clue? I mean...
Hey, I have a clue.
I didn't.
Maybe it was found
It's called the Glen Affric Tartan. Oh, wait. Was it Chisholm? Yeah. It was found in Glen Affric.
Lands which were controlled by the...
Correct.
Okay.
I think Peter...
Chisholm clan lands.
One of the people that was interviewed about this was either... Peter McDonald was one, and the current director of the STA was another one. Somebody said that it was found on Chisholm lands. Chisholm is how you spell it. How you pronounce it is Chisholm. Chisholm lands in Scotland, in Glen Affric, Scotland.
Right.
But they are very careful not to say that it is a Chisholm tartan. It was found in lands controlled by them, but it is not. I don't know exactly where the location is.
Well, and just because they found it there doesn't mean that it wasn't a possession of somebody who came there from somewhere else.
Yep.
So the exact provenance of where it was woven, I don't know if we'll ever know.
And frankly, 500 years predates most clan-specific tartans.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
Well, the reports that I'm getting all of a sudden now from outside that door and here are about 19 to 15 miles west of Loch Ness. So
there you go.
So it's
19 to 15
tartan.
miles.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe this piece actually saw Nessie.
Interesting. Or Nessie's grandfather, perhaps.
Ooh.
So are you guys as excited as we are about the new discovery of the Glen Affric tartan? Please let us know in the comments. Would you ever want a recreated historical type tartan? And is it this one or is it another one like Culloden or something like that? Let us know, guys.